After the uproar, the job was lost, wasn't it?
It was indeed. And we heard a memo came out from Sundar Pichai, he is the Google CEO overall, saying that the comments that were in this basically anti-diversity memo written by James Damore violate our code of conduct and cross the line by advancing harmful gender stereotypes in our workplace. That's the reasoning that he's lost his job. We understand that was confirmed. He confirmed his own dismissal in an email. And I just want to point out some of the elements that were in this so-called memo, which he titled Google's Ideological Echo Chamber. He says, yes, there are different traits between men and women, and maybe they're behind the difference in leadership breakdown and why we don't have equality at the top in terms of men and women. He says women have more neuroticism. He says they look for more work-life balance, and that men have a higher drive for status. Of course, all this whetting the appetite of those who are really in the push towards diversity and feel that this is unfair and not representative overall. But of course, this has created a backlash on the other side of things, because for those that propose diversity, there are also many that say, look, perhaps if you're a right-wing conservative, you're actually against freedom of speech here.
Yeah, and it comes as it faces a lawsuit, doesn't it, from the US Department of Justice.
And I think this is what is ironic, when there is being a badge attached to Google many a times that perhaps it is left-leaning. In fact, this is what was brought up at its most recent shareholder meeting back in June. A shareholder said, look, perhaps because of your political views, Conservatives wouldn't be welcome at Google. And the executives tried to speak out against that, saying, no, they would indeed be welcome. And in fact, Danielle Brown, she is a relatively new VP for diversity, for integrity, for governance. She said, look, we are happy to host people of difficult political views, she said, but perhaps you will be penalised. Perhaps it will be against the code of conduct. But it's ironic when you're a left-leaning, said so by many, thought to be left-leaning, that actually there's a court case coming from none other than the US Department of Labour, in fact, saying that this company systematically discriminates against women. And notably, when you look at the numbers, Mark, they don't exactly speak volumes over at Google. 69% of the workforce is male, 80% of the tech workforce are male. That leaves, what, just 30% of the entirety of Google as women?